All right, g'day, hi, and welcome. Okay, how to charge people when you do start your own business? How do you charge them for your work and stuff like that? Well, the way the economy is right now, and I don't want to get into that, but we'll just say everything you're seeing is pretty much orchestrated and guaranteed everything's going to get much, much more expensive, especially with all the new environmental laws where they're just basically trying to price everybody out of everything before they ban it, right? But you can still make money in this opportunity. Like it is an opportunistic thing where you find your clients. Most of the time, most of the people I work for are usually older people that are not as mobile, right? So they're usually wealthy enough to pay somebody a couple of hours a week to come and cut the grass or trim the hedges or whatever it is, but they're not wealthy. Sometimes some people are you work for them once a month, just to keep the weeds from overtaking the property, kind of stuff, right? Depends on what their budget. Other people, they'd have you working every day if you were freed up. But how do you charge people? Well, first off, you have to set the price that works for you within reality. So if you want to make $60 an hour cutting grass, good luck with that. Yeah, I'd love to make $60 an hour cutting grass. Not going to happen. No one's going to pay it, right? Maybe somebody will. There's some people that they're like, hey, if I can count on you as my main guy, I'll pay you well. Like they'll pay to keep you. You know what I mean? So the way I do it is obviously anything that I run, okay, I have to make money. Unlike an office job or a retail job or whatever, I actually charge to go to and from some jobs. I'll be right off the get with this car. It was different with the truck. With the truck, it's like, okay, if it's local, okay, it's $40 right away for me to show up. Just for me to show up, $40 a gas, right? Then I've got other fuel, okay, which a lot of times for the whippersnipping stuff, I usually charge them maybe $10 a week, whatever. Usually what happens is I fill one of these, and that lasts me about 3 weeks. So I usually don't charge that too much. What I do is like one customer, I'll say, okay, well, I got to get gas for the whippersnipper, so I'm going to charge you $10 this month. And then the next client, I do the same and whatever. That way I've always got that money for the gas. I never have to worry about it. And then once I get too far ahead, then I just kind of, okay, well, right now I'm still good. Don't worry, you've paid enough for the gas. Don't worry about it. But I never pay for fuel. It's the client is paying for my fuel. I do, depending on what, like if it's say like the chainsaw. A chainsaw and the whippersnipper. The chainsaw, you're going to go through chains typically and bar oil and the fuel, right? That's the main things for that. So again, you have say, okay, well, I got to get like, for example, one client still has like 4 liters of chainsaw oil left. So I don't charge them for that because I'm like, they already have it. I just say, I'm going to use your chainsaw bar oil, and when that's done, we'll buy another one. And you just keep it at your property. I don't carry it. It's for you. You know what I mean? And most of the time that works the best, where you say, okay, I'm just going to buy it. You're going to keep it here. We'll put it in a place where I can grab it whenever I need it. And we're good to go. If it is going to be a chainsaw kind of day, I usually do charge for the bar oil if they don't have any. Right, I have to use my own. I'll charge you an extra, say, a 4 liter. If it's going to be a quick job, I'll charge them, say, $10. So $10 for gas, $10 for the bar oil. Good until that thing is done, right? Even though, because I'm going to be charging multiple people for that. I'm not trying to gouge everybody, right? So once the bar oil's paid for, stop charging people for it because you have it, right? Now, once you're out of bar oil, you charge them for that. Now, let's say you're going into a bigger machine. And I got a machine here that's, if you've got one of these, you know what I'm talking about. Like it's a different league of machine. It's not like the chainsaw. The chainsaw, the only time you're really going to be charging them for a chain is when you screw up big time and you hit something, or if you're just cutting stuff that's really, really, really nasty and hey, Missy, whatever. But if you're using a brush cutter, or brush hog I call it, but it's not necessarily a brush hog, they're brush cutter. If you got a brush cutter, okay, obviously you're going to charge for the fuel. But with these guys, you got to charge for the blade. Say, yeah, I'll bring my brush cutter, but it's charge you for the blade, which could be 30 to 50 bucks, 60 bucks for a phenomenal one, whatever it is. So fuel plus that. So the fuel of that is probably, you know, it is what it is. You go, you fill up a tank of fuel, maybe get 10 bucks worth, and you know, okay, maybe you get a day, 2 days out of that 10 bucks, or you say, I'm just going to go fill the whole tank. Here's the bill, here's the receipt, and you know, you do your mix, because there's also mix oils and stuff like that, which I'll just show you, just so you know what they look like. So you got most of the guys in this know, but for somebody getting into it, whenever you buy a brand new still whatever, for an extra $6, they say they give you some free mix oil, 2-stroke oil. Hard to get in there. I got 2 left. They give you a couple of those free. They say for an extra $6 and you buy a whole dozen, you know, we'll add a 2-year warranty instead of, if you buy the extra oil, you'll get a 2-year warranty instead of 1-year warranty. So you end up with a lot of that if you buy a lot of. It's a neat little gimmick they got going, but yeah, and then you mix it. So you have to pay for that oil too. The rest is just your labor by hour. Now, for my regular clients, I just charge them $20 to $25 an hour, depending on the client, because I get repeat work after them. But kind of like one-offs, I tend to go from 20 bucks an hour for my regulars, just because they're consistent enough that I can actually make money doing that. I'd like to charge them a little bit more, but like 25 an hour, but I can make do with 20 and have repeat business. You know what I mean? One-offs where it's like you're going to be there for a day, whatever, 25 to 35. If the chainsaw's coming out this year for a non-regular client, 35 to 60 an hour is what I'm charging, because it's you're going out of your way to do it. B, you need to upgrade because you're now putting more strain on your equipment, because you have to factor that in, your equipment. Like, I run my vehicle, okay, so for the truck, let's say I work an 8-hour day, okay, 40 bucks right off, 20 bucks for gas per day, but I normally don't burn that much gas locally. But whatever it is, like if somebody wanted me to work, say, 3 towns over, I'd have to charge them 60 bucks of gas just to go there before even do anything. It wouldn't be worth it. I'd be like, it's not worth it, because I'd be just working for gas money. I don't work for gas money, I charge that. So the locals, what I do is it's close enough where I'm not burning 20 bucks of gas. I'm burning maybe about $3 of gas or whatever. I'll take 20 bucks out of the regular pay, put it aside for gas. So I'm never looking for gas money ever. I take another 20 bucks for maintenance, oil changes, tires, brakes, brake pads, that kind of thing. Because your vehicle is a part of your business. Even if it's a ship box like this is my ship box, but silver pellet and all. But you get the idea. So you gotta treat it like that. Chainsaws. A lot of times, if I'm starting a new tree job, what my buddy and I do, we basically, okay, this much for the bar oil, this much for that, and I'm buying 2 chains. So I have 2 spare chains. I sharpen my chains, but it's nice to start with a brand new chain. But the client buys that. So the idea is when you do go through a chain, you can just swap it out, and you got no downtime. You can sharpen up the dull chain later on, or if you really screw the chain, you know what I mean. And if you wreck a bar, well, it's good idea to put another 20 bucks a week away for that kind of stuff. Whippersnipper line is the same thing. Lawnmower blades are the same thing. You have to factor that in. So you can't get your clients to pay for absolutely everything in one shot. Saying, okay, well, you have to buy a new blade for my lawnmower, a chain, the oil, and all that. You do little bits and you divide it out on your customers, because unless you got a customer that never ever requires a chainsaw, you don't charge them for that, right? But if, you know, say sometimes I use it here, sometimes I use it there. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to charge you a little extra, an extra $10 or an extra whatever for fuel, maintenance, whatever it is. And that just goes in a big pool. And then that way your tools are always upkept. That said, as soon as you have the money to add more than one tool, so if you have one chainsaw, one whippersnipper, one lawnmower, start working on the and one brush cutter. Brush cutter, I would kind of, unless you're doing that really exclusively, one brush cutter will probably do you. You know, it's just, you'll have to get the client to buy a blade the same way you would get them to buy a new chain, kind of per whatever. But to get yourself going, I don't care how old you are. The world we live in now, I would charge a minimum of $20 an hour. You work your taxes out how you work your taxes out. You work your payout however you want them to pay you. Whether e-transfer, you got to work that out. I don't do e-transfers. I do cash, just because it's so much easier and I get paid that day. You know, or the end of the week, or some of my clients, it's they pay me by the month. There's that too. So as far as estimating, I'll make that the next video.